First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead.
Dave, we've talked about it at length that Walker Buehler has already cemented himself as a big game pitcher. He seemed to prove that again today, bases loaded with nobody out. How has he developed right before your eyes?
How has he developed? He's very confident. He's a student of the game. He's just continuing to learn, and he just doesn't panic and loves the big moments. And the great ones make great pitches and big pitches in big spots. And like you said, Alana, he's done that time and time again.
Gives you 6 strong innings, relatively efficient in terms of what he's done his past couple of times out. What did you like about the matchup between Trinan and I believe it was Markakis instead of having Walker go back out for the 7th?
No, it was more of just Walker emptied the tank. That was it. He was gassed. And I think the first couple innings, I think 2 of the 3, he was really stressed and had to make big pitches. And the play that Mookie made in that inning. And so there was a lot of emotion. So I just felt that, that was it. He emptied the tank. And, for me at that point in time, I'm just trying to shorten the game.
With the way you guys jumped on Max Fried in the first inning, was the focus really to beat him on his curveball as well as the slider? I know Corey hit the home run on the curveball.
Yeah, that's what the thought was, because he was getting ahead with the breaking ball the first time through to many of our guys. So just to be aggressive on spin early and to see Corey and JT jumpstart us was big. Fortunately, that proved to be enough.
How happy are you for Kenley, Doc?
I'm very happy. This has been, a tough, challenging year, from different perspectives, but in some perspectives, it's been his best season. But to continue to stay focused and be ready when called upon, and the game's honoring him. So couldn't be more happy and proud of him.
Thank
you. Next question's from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead.
Hey, do you have a starter for tomorrow?
No, Kenny. We're still talking through it. We've got some good names available, but as far as how we sort of deploy these guys, we haven't figured it out yet.
Next question's from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, the broadcast mentioned that Walker had been using Stan's rodeo rub for his blisters. Do you know how long that treatment's been going on?
I don't, Jorge. I think I was the old Dodger trainer. Stan Johnston was my old trainer, but I have no idea.
And everything obviously was good with the blister. How much relief is it that it seems like he's kind of past it?
Yeah, he's past it. I guess he's past it. It's still, relevant. So we still are mindful of that. But it's not necessarily an inning to inning. So it was good to see that he got out of it okay.
Was Clayton available out of the bullpen tonight?
I'll talk to him tomorrow. Coming off the spasms and just kind of seeing where he's at physically, a couple days rest. I'll talk to him and we'll make a decision.
And when you say that you're not sure on the starter, will Gonsolin get a bulk, whether it's at the start or in the middle?
There's a good chance that Gonsolin will take down a good bit of it, yes.
Next question's from Pedro Mora. Go ahead.
Dave, when you say by some perspective it's been Kenley's best season, what do you mean by that? Which perspective?
Yeah, there's been some kind of the under the surface numbers that he's been really good, to be quite honest, whether it be quality of contact, strikeouts, so there's been some things in there that have been really good that just really haven't shown itself.
Next question's from Bill Plaschke. Go ahead.
Yeah, Doc, they say Game 7 is the greatest 2 words in sports. Is that the way it feels right now?
It does. I'm still sort of recovering from this one, but already thinking about Game 7. And absolutely, Bill, that's what you live for, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question's from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead.
Dave, with Seager, obviously there's a health component here, but kind of from a maturity standpoint, what have you kind of seen from him? From like the guy that who he was when you first took over as manager to the changes that he's had over the several few years that have allowed him to perform like this on the stage.
He has, as far as on the health perspective, Dylan, he's not an overworker anymore. He's working more with a purpose, more efficient work. I think before he just kind of there was anxiety, and a lot of players that feel like I can't work enough. And so sometimes there's diminishing returns. I think he's understood his body with that. And I think as far as the postseason, just understanding that at times they're going to try to not throw strikes to him, because how dangerous he is. And he's been as good in the zone this postseason by far than he's ever been.
Thank you.
We got time for one more. Go ahead, Scott.
Dave, you said yesterday that Mookie had the play of the year. So where would you rank the one that he made in right field, and what was your take on it?
I think a tick behind last night's play, but it just shows the athleticism, man. Because, I think right there, Walker was kind of stressing a little bit. And so to make that play to get out of it, you got Darno, who saw him really well today behind. So to get out of that one, was huge. But he's just, man, he just impacts the game in so many different ways.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.